I'm still here. It's day 227 of the carnivore diet. How much have I lost in the last 3 weeks? Welcome back. If you are new, my name is Karyn and my husband Dan and I are trying to become as self-sufficient as we possibly can before we retire. If that interests you, consider subscribing to our channel. One of the things that we are working on is our personal health, in particular me. I have a lot of weight to lose because if we don't have our personal health, then self-sufficient living when we retire is going to be very difficult. I am on my way to reaching my second 50-pound goal. I have 4 of those. Almost 4 weeks ago now, I started a new job, and I'm trying to work into a groove between that new job and updating my YouTube channel here, so you'll have to be a little bit patient with me. I do appreciate each and every one of you. So I haven't fallen off the wagon. I'm still on the carnivore lifestyle, and I will be for the foreseeable future. In this video, I'm going to go over my weight loss, and then I want to share a recipe with you for a carnivore bread that is so much like the traditional bread. And you can toast it, you can make buns from it, grilled cheese sandwiches, on and on. So stick around for that. I haven't touched base with you for 3 weeks, so how much have I lost? If you remember, the last time I updated, I had gained a pound, and it was inflammation from some of the processed meat that I had been eating. Well, now I have lost that pound, plus 5.4 more pounds. And that brings my total to 66.1 pounds. I'm hoping to become a member of that 100 pounds lost club by the end of June. We'll see if we can make it. That leaves me about 4 months to lose 33.9 pounds. It's doable, but it might be a squeaker like my last 50-pound goal. I just need to keep it carnivore, and for me, stay away from those processed meats and hard cheeses. And if you are on this way of eating with me, please update me below on how you are doing since it's been a few weeks now. I would truly love to know how you're doing also. Now I want to share the carnivore bread recipe with you. Look at how this finished bread breaks apart, and you can see that it is bread-like, just like a traditional bread. This is a recipe that I got from the Ketogenic Woman website, and if you've never watched her videos on YouTube, please check out the Ketogenic Woman. She is so genuine and so kind and so helpful. So check out her channel, but I'm going to share this recipe of hers with you. Now, I don't like to always be eating substitutes for food that I ate before that got me where I am today, because it does sometimes bring back a few extra cravings for that food, but I see nothing wrong with it every now and then as long as you're keeping it carnivore. And it helps me stay on this lifestyle. So let me show you how I made this bread. The key to this bread is the egg white powder. It is completely carnivore, and it takes the place of what would be flour in a traditional bread recipe. I've preheated the oven to 325 degrees, and so I'm going to start off in my mixer bowl with 6 egg whites. To that, I'm going to add 1.5 ounces by weight of the egg white powder. Next is 2 tablespoons of beef collagen. And I believe there is another thing that you could use besides beef collagen. It will be on her recipe on her website or in her video possibly, but I will link to her recipe from her website that I used in the description of this video. And then I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of Redmond salt. I'm I'm going to put the whisk attachment on my mixer, and I would, even though this needs to be mixed up on high setting, I would start out for just maybe the first like 30 seconds on low. Otherwise, all that powder is going to poof up out of your bowl. Or maybe mix it slightly with a spoon before you start mixing it with the mixer. Our goal here is to make this mixture become very stiff so that it has stiff peaks. And that's going to take about 3 to 5 minutes depending on your mixer on a high setting. While that is going, I'm going to shred half a stick of butter or 4 tablespoons so that I can add that in toward the end. It's important to use frozen butter because you don't want it to actually mix, you don't want it to actually blend in with your egg mixture and change the consistency. You want that nice, fluffy, stiffer consistency, but yet it will impart then a nice buttery flavor to the bread. So now you can see how stiff this mixture has become. I'm going to clean off this whisk attachment. Then I'm just going to put on my regular paddle attachment for this next part. So now we're going to put it on the lowest setting on the mixture because we don't want to ruin that nice stiff puffiness that we've made with our egg whites. On low, you're going to add 3 egg yolks, and you're going to do it one at a time, just letting it just mix enough so it's just mixed in there, and then add another one. When that's done, it will be time to add in our frozen butter, and then add in any other mix-ins that you want to add. I did add some minced garlic to this recipe one time to make some buns for some smoked pork sandwiches, and they would be great with like a burger too. I could see you adding any seasonings that you would want, like if you can tolerate Italian seasonings or anything like that, you would put that in there. This time I'm making this mainly for Dan, and so we wanted to try adding some shredded cheddar cheese to it to make a cheese bread. So I'm just going to fold that in carefully with a spoon at the end before I put it in my pan. I do want to say that if you are going to make buns with this, there are different baking instructions for making the buns, and they will be at the link in the description on the Ketogenic Woman website. But we are making a loaf of bread, so we're going to put this in a 4x8 bread pan. I'm using a silicone bread pan so that it comes out really easily, but you could also just grease a regular loaf pan and do it in there also. Once I've spread that around, it goes into my 325-degree oven for 25 minutes. And while that's baking, I beat 1 egg in a small bowl because what we're going to do is an egg wash over the top of this bread. So after 25 minutes, I pulled it out of the oven and I just brushed it with this egg wash. And sprinkled a little bit of Redmond salt over the top. Then it goes back in the oven for another 5 to 10 minutes. After that 5 or 10 minutes, you're just going to turn the oven off to let it continue baking in the oven for about 15 to 20 more minutes, but with the oven off. And here's the result of my carnivore cheese bread. So what do you think? Have you tried any carnivore breads? What are your favorite carnivore bread recipes? Will you try this one? Let me know down below, and I hope to get back with more consistent updating on our YouTube channel. Thanks for sticking with me, and I hope you are having a fabulous week. I'll see you next time.